We have the staff here in the building because we are a family here, and I want you guys to see everybody who makes this building move, right? So Jess, if you can click through the slide for me. The first slide is just me sharing our mission and our 10-year vision. Taylor, did any one of you guys want to read the mission or the 10-year vision? It's a rhetorical question.
I'll gladly read. Our mission, we aim to liberate Oak Cliff from systemic oppression through a culture of education while increasing social mobility and social capital. Taylor, would you like to read the 10-year vision?
You don't know the vision? You don't know about her?
Oh, my bad. The 10-year vision, by 2035, the Super Block will be a beacon of hope, offering all residents a higher quality of life. The school-to-prison pipeline will be disrupted and replaced by a cradle-to-career pathway. Everybody say cradle-to-career pathway.
Cradle-to-career pathway.
That puts us on a trajectory to social and economic mobility, wellness, and liberation. Everybody say liberation.
Liberation.
Thank you, X. I want to kind of pause at the 10-year vision. Taylor, I know you can't see from the back, but I do. As the CEO of 4 Cliff, I'm sure you know what this 10-year vision means, right? It looks like a lot of words to people who haven't seen it before, but us as staff members, we've read this 10-year vision, we've come up with it together, and we've had some time to sit with it, right? Longer than you guys have. So I kind of wanted to park here for a brief moment to see if you would like to share like what that means for the community or the Super Block.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
For coming. I am Taylor Torn. Pleasure to serve here at Fort Oak Cliff and within the community as well. Grew up in Oak Cliff and just love my job working with all these amazing people. This 10-year vision came about because Fort Oak Cliff, we found ourselves at what we like to say an inflection point. The mission statement and the vision are separate things. Our mission for the organization will always stay what it is. That is what we founded ourselves in. Those are the core values of the work that we do. But this 10-year vision statement came about because we started doing a strategic visioning process. And in that strategic visioning process, we also recognized that Fort Oak Cliff is the entity within the area we like to call the Super Block. The Super Block is the 75216 zip code, essentially. But we found ourselves being the convener and galvanizer of all the people, schools, and organizations that exist in that region. And by doing that, we said, all right, what can we do to bring everyone together? So we said we wanted to become the backbone entity for this community. And by backbone, if you think about your backbone literally in your body, it holds everything together. It helps all your limbs and things function. It also is part of the nervous system as well. So for us, we were thinking like, who are all the individuals that we need to bring together to make impact in this community? I don't think you all going over any data or anything like that so far, but when we start looking at the data, the cradle to prison pipeline, we want to disrupt that because this zip code leads the state of Texas with the most people incarcerated. We also were saying a beacon of hope because so many times you can cut on the news and you can see so many things about this community and the picture being painted of things that they are reality, but we also know that you from Oak Cliff or know people from Oak Cliff, we got a lot of pride and resilience, so you can't take that away from us. And when we put this 10-year vision statement together, it wasn't just for our organization, but we were hoping that this is something that everyone that's serving within this community can stack hands on. So if you do anything, if you don't even have an organization, if you are an individual that is doing work and serving in your community, we would hope that you could read this 10-year vision statement and find a piece in there that says, you know what, that's something I believe in. For example, some folks are just gonna be focused on economic mobility. There are people who might be in the finance world, might be in the real estate world. It's like my world is around economics. And then there are individuals that say, but I am all for this wellness. People who are saying, you know what, I want to be involved with wellness, whether that's feeding people, whether that's hygiene, whether that's, just overall, like even being nurses and doctors, providing physicals, things of that nature. So for us, it was just thinking of how can we come up with a vision statement that represents not just our organization, but the community at large. And that's how we got there. And I hope that this is something that people in this room also can see themselves in as well.
All right.
Yes, I knew you could do it. You did an amazing job, Taylor. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll go to the next slide, Destiny. It's okay. Briefly, I want to just say what our pillars are. I'm not going to dive too deeply into it, but our pillars, which is what we stand on, right? So the categories of our work fall into education, they fall into arts and culture, community building, and advocacy. So when you think about the education pillar, you can think about our LENA program, you can think about our free GED program, right? Free phlebotomy, and in my opinion, also our out of school time programs. Those of you who have children that are in programming, can you raise your hand? Period. So that is a form, right, of education, right? Arts and culture, we have a film workshop that we do. We have murals and art all over the building. Community building, those large scale events like that back to school festival, the Juneteenth festival, right? Things like that. We also do a teen late night, right, on Friday nights. Teens, Friday night, they're gonna do, they don't have a club necessarily. And if not that, then it's something rowdy. And so we like to house them here, do something fun and safe, right? And then advocacy. Did y'all know that we're a voting location?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So if you live in this, I think if you vote in Dallas County, you can live wherever, but if you are a Dallas County registered voter, this very room is the room that you vote in, okay? And it's our way of employing you guys to advocate for yourselves, right? Next slide, please, Des. We're gonna just briefly introduce the staff. You guys already have met me. I'm on my eyes closed. I don't know why Destiny picked this picture, but we're gonna move past that. I'm very photogenic, but X, can you raise your hand and say your title and your name?
Absolutely. Good evening again, everybody. My name is Xavier Henderson, and I have the honor to serve as our Chief Strategy Officer.
Awesome. You, sir, in the back.
Good evening, y'all. I'm Taylor Torrance. I serve as the CEO here.
You, young lady in the back.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sharifa Mason. I'm the Director of Education.
You, young lady in the cheer skirt.
My name is Unisha Wells, and I serve as the Director of Community Building.
Awesome. You, young lady in the purple shirt.
Hi y'all, my name is Destiny Watson. I'm an External Affairs Associate.
Awesome. We also have in the building Courtney Thomas. She is running around because she manages all of our on-site programs here in the building. Okay, but she'll pop in a second. While we're introducing our staff, I want to give the floor to Ms. Sharifa Mason, our Director of Education, who is going to really shed some deep light on chronic absenteeism. You guys have these cute little cards right in front of you. These are your visual aids, okay? But she's going to shed some light into what chronic absenteeism is. I talked about it earlier to the early arrivers, but I want her to dive deeper and let you guys know what it is and what we're trying to do about it. Okay?
First of all, thank y'all for being here this evening. We really love to be in community with everybody, especially our members, because you all supporting us and coming out, having your children and grandchildren in programming. That's what keeps our organization alive. And so thank you all for being committed community members. We really appreciate that. So one thing that we are working on this year is our Go to School campaign. The Super Block, which is the 75216 zip code, has one of the largest percentage rates of chronic absenteeism in the entire district. If you look at your cards in 21-22, the Super Block lost about $5.4 million because students were not attending school every day. And we know that students get sick and things happen, but to be chronically absent means that you've missed approximately 10% of the school year, which equates to about 18 days. So imagine how hard it is for a teacher to help a student who's missed 18 days of school. And so we are working on building out a strategy and incentive with two specific schools in particular, the elementary and middle school that had the highest percentage of chronic absenteeism rates. The elementary school is around 39 and the middle school is around 49. And I'm talking about Black Elementary School, which used to be Peace and Bushman. They've combined and now are Black Elementary and Todd Middle School, which used to be Zumo. And so we are working with those teachers. We have convened what we call the Black Tie Dream Team, where we have taken the educators and staff members from both campuses to first train them and educate them on what chronic absenteeism is, then get them trained by a national organization on home visits so that they can go into the homes of the students who are chronically absent, talk to the parents, figure out if there are any resources and support we can provide to them so that we can get students to school. One thing that I'm extremely proud of that we did this year that was super impactful was our Get on the Bus tour. It is something that Fort Oak Cliff created a few years back, and something that I really wanted to make sure that we revitalize this year because I know the impact. I taught in this zip code at every school in 75216, every secondary school, and I think being a former teacher, it's important that we also acknowledge when we don't know things. We want students to acknowledge when they don't know, we have to as well. And even though I was a master teacher, I did not know what chronic absenteeism was because it was never anything prevalent in the district. The district never focused on it. They never told us anything about it. It wasn't a metric. And so it was like it didn't exist. However, Senate Bill 991 just passed in the Texas legislature, and now it is a metric. And now it does exist. And now it is extremely serious. And so we want to make sure that we are pushing Black and Tie to increase their attendance rates. Right now in September, it's attendance month. And so we have been running weekly raffles at both schools, providing students and staff with gift cards for people who have gone to school every single day. We're going to end the month with a big raffle. One student per campus is going to win $100. One staff member per campus will win $150, and one family per campus will win $200. Because we really want to incentivize them for going to school every day. Sydney and I are working on some opportunities to utilize what we already have in place in regards to our fall festival, our Heart of Harvest space, to make sure that we are continuing to incentivize families so that we can sustain this work. Because we can't stop after attendance month. We have to find ways to continue to support the students. Unisha and I are working on sock hops so that we can go to the campuses and have little dances during the day to make sure that we are rewarding the students who believe in showing up on time and being present full day. I think it's important for us to tell you all so that you can enlighten people in your communities when you're having conversations at the mailboxes. Talk to your neighbors, let them know about chronic absenteeism and the fact that the Senate bill is going to force DISD to report chronic absenteeism data that has never happened before. So now schools are going to have to provide that information. Now let me tell you why that's super important. About 80% of the super block schools this year got awarded with A and B ratings, which is amazing, right? Clap it up, Black got an A, SOC got a B. I know this is a little bit extended, but Roosevelt got a B. So the schools in this area are coming up, right? But what is going to happen when that chronic absenteeism now becomes an indicator on that data? Those A's and B's that we just got and everybody was so excited for, and all the news channels were in all these spaces cheering them on, that now becomes something that they also have to fight. So the more that we can educate, empower, and inform the community to have these conversations when we're not in spaces with citizens of Oak Cliff, it's important for us to share that information. Don't assume people know. I was in the classroom for 16 years. I did not know, because we were looking at the indicator around average daily attendance. And that is how we were able to say we had 90% attendance, because we took a snapshot during second period. But anybody who missed after that, they were already included in the snapshot, and it didn't matter to us as teachers. Now with this metric in place, it is going to matter. if a student leaves. So we're telling parents, make sure you schedule your students' appointments on the weekends if you can. Make sure you schedule appointments during the holidays that are already built in. There is a fall break in October, there's Thanksgiving break in November, Christmas break in December, you have spring break in March. Start utilizing that time off to make sure you are taking care of your children so that they can go to school every day. Of course, we know if they're sick, they're safer at home. We don't want to get everybody sick, but it is important that people understand what chronic absenteeism is. So remember this, 10% of the school year is 18 plus days or more that they are missing. So go ahead.
Sorry,
Sadie.
you're saying days, which is true, but it's also classes, right? So let's say, for example, they have like 4 to 8 periods in a day. If they miss periods 3, 4, and 5, that's an absence.
So thank you for bringing that up. Some systems, and we're working to see what DISD is doing now, but even tardies, if your children are in secondary classrooms, there are so many tardies that can equate to an absence. So even when they're in the hallway playing around, yes, they're at school, but if they come into their teacher's class late and they don't have a pass and the teacher doesn't mark them as excused tardy, now they have that tardy, which could equate to an absence as well. What Sydney was talking about really impacts especially high school students. When your students miss a class period, it is like missing a day. So when you are getting these phone calls or you are getting these letters, it is imperative that you make sure you jump out on this. And one thing that's super important that I need to make sure you all understand, truancy is about the courts. You become truant because you've been absent or tardy too much, you get a ticket, you get a fine, you get a letter, right? Chronic absenteeism does not come in a letter. Chronic absenteeism comes in attendance for credit. So your students have to make up seat time. And why this is important for you to understand is chronic absenteeism encompasses both excused and unexcused absences. So Papa Stearns can bring Siobhan to the doctor and he can come with his excuse to the campus and we will gladly take the excuse so that she doesn't become truant. But that does not stop her from being categorized as chronically absent if he takes her to the doctor 18 times throughout the year. So understand chronic absenteeism is excused and unexcused absences. Because when Siobhan is not in the classroom, she can't learn. Therefore, she has to make that work up. And then she falls into the attendance for credit bucket. Yes. 100%.
Can you say it again? Repeat what you said.
She said this impacts not just the individual, but the funding for the school.
Yes.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So to go a little bit deeper, this is a conversation we have internally a lot. I kept trying to figure out where is Governor Abbott getting this money for these vouchers? Where does the money come from? We can't pay teachers, we can't give raises, but we can give people $10,000 a head for school, like make it make sense. Then when I took this position and started digging into the data around chronic absenteeism, that's when I said, oh, we left $5.4 million on the table because students weren't in classrooms. So when you take that $5.4 million and did $10,000 a head, ain't nothing. That's easy work, that's light.
And that's just for these schools.
And that's just for these
not the
schools in
whole
this zip code, exactly. The
District.
district lost $17.5 million that same school year, 21-22. But we were the biggest chunk, $5.4 million. And so I want to also state this because I think it's super important. People like to give data about the super block and not talk about what the data looks like globally. Chronic absenteeism is a national issue. Chronic absenteeism is not just an issue exclusive to 75216, but it's very prevalent here and we need to figure out how to fix it. Pre-COVID, 16% of the nation's students were chronically absent. Post-COVID, it nearly doubled to 30%. So this is a nationwide problem, But of course, we know that if we can fix things in the super block, other people will start to take notice and make changes. Dr. Elizalde, the DISD superintendent, is willing to work with us to get this work executed. We just ask that you all tell everybody you know about chronic absenteeism. That's why we gave the cards out, because we want you to be able to speak numbers. Everybody speaks money, don't they, Kevin?
Yep.
Everybody speaks money. Everybody. So if y'all have any questions, let me know. Thank y'all for listening so intently. Did you get me on my good side? Just check.
Yes, I did.
That's why she's the director of education. Okay. So on the screen here, you see just the map. It's an outdated map, but it's kind of right. It's what the super block looks like. You hear super block, you follow us on Instagram, you'll see super block. If you're just getting in, do not be shy. I have plenty of champagne, beer, wine, ice water, non-alcoholic beer, whatever your heart desires, okay? Grab a sip, grab a seat, whatever you want to do, okay? But on the TV screen, that is a super block map. Super block is 75216. Who lives in 75216 zip code? Okay, so y'all super block residents. Who lives in 75241? That's where I'm from. Just me? Okay, period, neighbors. Okay, next slide, yes, please. Okay. You need to show us this, y'all. We can skip through this, but this is just a brief history. Did y'all know that Fort Cliff is, are we 11? Fort Cliff is 11 years old. Woo!
Congratulations.
Fort Cliff is 11 years old. We started in 2014 in Taylor's W.W. Bushman classroom. A few years later, we're in the Glendale Shopping Center. A few years later, we paid a double of $1 million to own the building that we're in. We own. Wow. Right? I know probably y'all thought we was paying rent to be here. We are not. Ratepayers.
And what are we sitting on, Steve?
We're sitting on 10 acres of land.
Tell them again.
10 acres of land. And you're in a 20,000 square foot building right now with a swimming pool. Okay, right? It is the Oak Cliff Country Club. Okay. Okay, you can keep going, Disney. Thank you so much. You can keep going. Thank you so much. Programs offered. Who has kids between the ages of 6, Sharifa?
Yes.
6 to 17?
Yep.
Ages 6 to 17? Grandkids, guardianships, all of the things. Okay? Yes, you in the back. But these are the programs that are offered. We have an amazing young lady. Her name is Courtney Thomas. And she is here to speak just briefly, because I do want y'all to keep sipping and getting to know each other. But I want to talk about what the programs are that we offer. A lot of nonprofits that house kids, this is no shade to anybody, but they don't tell you what all they're doing in the building, right? We got programs, just like no. We're showing you what programs we have. We've asked the students what programs that they like. We have programs during the summer camp, and we brought back some things that they really, really took a liking to. So Courtney, you have the floor, my daughter.
Hello, everyone. My name is Courtney Thomas. I serve as the campus site manager here at Fort Cliff. I love my job. I love my kids. But these are a list of programs that we have currently. If your kid is interested in music, any type of music, videography, learning podcasts, I would say put them in our DJ Soundbox program. That program was started by our wonderful director of community building, Unisha Wells. We just wanted to elevate it over time, and so we went from one DJ, now we have 2 DJs that are cohorting that class and creating the unity and synergy that the kids love and adore. Can't stress enough about that. Girl Scouts, you know, girls should know about Girl Scouts. Excuse me. Crochet, that was something we started this past summer. We have a retired teacher, Tay Tay. What you gotta say? Sorry, Tay Tay.
Cool job.
I got you, girl. I got you. Tay Tay, I'm holding it down. But Crochet is a program we started this past summer in our wonderful summer camp. This was our first year doing our summer camp. We did an amazing job. I'm so excited for the next year. But kids love crocheting. It's very shocking, but they love it. And so her class be filled every week. Dance class that's actually being put on by one of my former college interns from here. She attended. She graduated from UNT Dallas. She's an amazing dancer. And so therefore, she is teaching our dance classes. The kids was out in the hallway today. I don't know what they were doing. They were getting something ready. I don't know. But I'll let them live their best lives, okay? Super Block Superheroes. That's a very important program that my Director of Community Building, Unisha Wells, we created Super Block Superheroes a few years back, but it has elevated. And this year, our wonderful aquatics manager, Taylor Wortham, is co-leading that program. And so Super Block Superheroes, when kids want to know how to get involved in programming, especially in that high school age range, it's very difficult because we know that they're in extracurricular activities, they're doing all the sports and all the things, but we only ask for them to be here once a week. We feed them, so you ain't got to worry about them going home. They get a meal, but they learn different things about public speaking, resume building, college essays. They get all of that support, and also they have an opportunity to become a teen intern down the line. Mm-hmm. That's when we hire high school students in the summertime to literally live their best life. They work, but they have fun. They go on trips. They do all types of things. In the past few years, we've had the opportunity to take our kids to New York, Chicago twice. Some of our kids been to DC to speak for Trust for Public Land. So it's a lot of different things. I just say get your kids involved. If you want to know more, you can definitely reach out to me. My card is at the front, but I'm about to go see what these kids is doing.
Thank you, Courtney. So one important thing, if you want to sign your students up for programming, a lot of people are like, how do I get my kids signed up? Every Tuesday, which is today, every Tuesday between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m., there's a parent orientation in person right here in this building. Every single week. That is when you sign your students up, okay? That's what she's gonna head to probably in a little bit because she probably got parents in for
Kids room.
Kids room, okay? The important part with that is we can connect with the kids all the time, but if we don't have the buy-in and participation of the parent, what are we even doing?
Right.
So in-person sign-ups we found this semester is the first time we're doing it. It's been really successful. So there's that. Okay? Okay, awesome. Oh man, my banner black is gone. Oh, I know how to do it. Okay. These are just pictures of our organization because we lit like that. Okay. State of the Super Block. This is just to let you understand where we are, right? The median income for the 75216 zip code is $33,000, right? $33,800, right? That's not livable, especially if you have children, right? So one of the things, if you go back to our 10-year vision, right, wanting to improve the quality of life, we want to increase that median income number, which stems with education, which stems to pathways to success, which goes back to third grade literacy, which goes back to pre-K enrollment. Everything that we do leads up to how can you provide for yourself and have a high quality of life so that you're happy at home. You want to engage your students and your kids at school. You want to be in PTA. You want to come here just to swim, right? You want to engage in a higher quality of life, right? Did I explain that right to my coworkers? Okay, good. I think there's something else I want to show you guys in here. Maybe not. Okay, so while I have your attention, on Halloween, y'all got Halloween plans? We're out there our kids.
I know.
Okay, so the day before Halloween, Thursday, October the 30th, not the 31st. I'm gonna be outside minding my own personal business on the 31st, okay? But on the 30th, we are having a Spook Fest here in the building. It is our third one that we've done. That's when we scare the living daylights out of the kids. No, so what we do is we decorate the building. We convert our downstairs locker rooms into a haunted house. We're looking for volunteers to serve as actors in the haunted house. If you enjoy scaring the youth, we're looking for goblins and all that kind of stuff. But we also convert the gym into a fall festival. So think pumpkin decorating. The Girl Scouts band will be there. There's some STEM activities. We have a mad scientist activation where we'll do some frog dissection on site. It's kind of really activated, not just scary, it's educational as well, right? Free food, free fun, all the things. Come, celebrate, kick it, not celebrate, but like kick it with us. You know what I'm saying? So you're invited to join that is free, right? So as a member, it's free. Everybody members in here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume yes. Okay. If you want to become a member after this presentation, all that kind of stuff, you come to the table and I'll get you nice and set up. Alrighty. So we have the Spook Fest on October 30th. Like Sharifa mentioned, we are gonna do something for our teachers and our families as it relates to chronic absenteeism. So probably a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, we'll do like a Thanksgiving brunch, Thanksgiving lunch, dinner, whatever spread for the teachers. We want to give out turkeys to the families who are doing well with attendance, right? And then in December, who knows what happens in December? What do we do every year? Who knew that? Good job. Yes. We do our annual 4-0 Christmas skate party at Southern Skates right down the road. I think it's December 14th. I could be wrong. Maybe it's December 10th. I don't have a calendar. But thank you, Xavier. That's what you're my boss for. December 12th, it's a Friday. It's a Friday, right? So between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., it's just free skate, free fun. We got pizza, cookies, snacks, candy, juice, and a whole bunch of toys, right? And a whole bunch of games. And it's just really, really fun. The kids are obsessed. We love that about that. So we invite you guys to volunteer there or come and bring your grands or your kids or your students or whatever you want to do. Okay? So I know a lot of people always ask how they can get involved with 4 Oak Cliff. I've just given you at least 2 ways. You can volunteer at the Spook Fest. You can volunteer at the skate party. I'll let you know about Heart of Harvest. And other than that, just continue to be up here. We are Oak Cliff Country Club, like I mentioned, right? If you want to work from home and you're a member and you just want to come up here and work in the flex space and just do your work, you're free to do that. If you want to hoop downstairs in the gym between the hours of 10 and 3 p.m., you can do that. If you want to use our weight room between those same hours, you can do that. Only you can't do really at the pool because it's closed. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, we are Oak Cliff Country Club, okay? So that concludes my presentation. Does anybody have any questions? Lovely. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
You had a slide up there a moment ago. You kind of went through it about the incarceration rate.
Yes.
So I was just wondering, like, I know you guys have programs in the community for the youth.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have programs where people from the community that may have been affected by, their backgrounds, things like that, that have been affected by the prison to pipeline, situation? Are there programs here for 19, 20, 21-year-olds that, or somebody like that that's trying to have a second chance, career or something like that?
The short of it is we don't have the programs here, but that's where our Backbone entity steps in, right? So Backbone is we don't offer every single program. We align with partners who offer it, if that makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. And so we have a young brother who works here. His name is Eric Hurt. He's on paternity leave. He's had a baby. But he did 25 years in prison. Mm-hmm. Right? He went to Carter High School with me, the greatest high school that there is.
Well, we don't know.
What just happened? I thought we were all on the same page.
Yeah, we were.
Anyway, he went to Carter High School. He was locked up at 16 or 17. He was innocent and was there for 25 years. He just got out recently, and his first job was where?
4 Oak Cliff.
4 Oak Cliff. And we hired him to do the very work that you're talking about. So he works very deeply with juvenile detention centers and things like that. And I want to, Unisha, quick question, welcome back. This young lady asked questions since we're the most heavily incarcerated in the state of Texas. She's asking what programs we offer centered around incarceration. I told her that that's where our Backbone entity kicks in. Can you speak to some of the work that Eric does?
Mm-hmm. So there are 2 entities that work on adjudicated youth, or youth that have been previously justice involved. We work closely with Lone Star Justice Alliance and Reimagine Justice Coalition. Okay. And so what is happening here as a Backbone, because we do not provide direct service other than ancillary programming, we talked to Director Hadnot, who was the director of the juvenile detention facility. And so I know all of you, well, anyone that knows about juvenile know there was this huge report that came out last year about all the inconsistencies and mistreatments or whatever that's been happening in juvenile. So we went straight to the top. We went straight to that report and spoke to Dallas County Juvenile about it. The previous leader was asked to step down, and now we have a new leader, Director Hadnot. So then Eric goes in and not only provides weekly programming, but he has started to negotiate the conditions inside of the facility, right? So we just recently had a meeting last Thursday where we had, I'm just gonna put it frankly, this list of demands that we said that could be immediate changes that could happen within the juvenile detention center. And so that's just a little peek of what we're doing, but we're, again, Fort Oak Cliff has been providing direct service, but we're now moving to a backbone so that we can influence systems change. Yes. So yes, we can go in weekly like Eric does and provide programming to the students, but also we can go straight to the top and say, hey, but today, what can you do? And some of the things we're not limited to, more sanitary items for the girls in there, hair care products for the girls in there, the mats they sleep on, visitation rights and things like that. So again, we're trying to, attack it from both ends, and that we do want to be a direct service provider. He goes in there and he talks to them about anything from, being justice involved to financial literacy, but then we also convene as partners with Reimagine Justice and with Lone Star Justice Alliance to do the top-down approach where we want to fix things up top.
Okay. Fantastic.
Great question. See, it was worth asking. Anybody else have any questions about what we do, why we do?
I have a question.
Sure.
And just a disclaimer, I was gonna ask this question before you mentioned you go to Carter or went to Carter.
Cause she had got choked up. She thought I was looking to the hind leg. My girl was choking.
No, so I just wanna know how I can, maybe get this information and take it up to the school, Kimball High School, to try to.
Kimball High School.
Kimball High School.
Okay, the mixer is over. Everybody
The nights are in the building.
Please roll off. So what she said was she was president of the PTSA. She is president of the PTSA, and she would like an opportunity to share this information with her school.
Short answer is, I'm happy to email you this day. I think that's the easiest way to just ship it on over to you, right? That's that part. With the volunteer opportunities, let's connect and I get your information. And go have some people ask you about fall volunteer opportunities. Now the Spook Fest, it is on our website. ForOakCliff.org/volunteer. That's where you see all of our volunteer opportunities. So again, ForOakCliff.org, not .com. We are an organization. Okay, so ForOakCliff.org/volunteer. That's where you'll see all of the things that you can sign up for. So that's that portion of it, because we definitely do need the haunted house people. I have 0 volunteers right now. Okay. So there's that. For Christmas, same thing. When it's available, it'll be there, right? But I want to send you this deck because aside from like meet the staff, because who cares? Maybe y'all do care, I don't know. But chronic absenteeism I can add in there, the volunteer opportunities I can add in there, and the data I think is important as well. But I'm happy to send it over to you. Connect after this, is that okay? Okay, awesome. Yes, you in the back.
Can you send it to me as well? I'm a teacher.
Did y'all sign up for this event?
Yes.
Did y'all put y'all email address in this? Did it ask y'all email address? I hope so. I'll ask Destiny when she returns. But for everybody, what I'll do, if it asks for email address when you guys RSVP for this event, which actually it did because we sent y'all out a reminder email. So I will email out this deck with the volunteer opportunities attached to it. You just need to check your spam in case it just filters down that way. Does that make sense? Okay, great. I love that. Anybody else? Yes, you in the back.
It sounds to me, I used to present myself as this Mac when you were at Glendale. There was a programming for adults and getting your GT and everything like that. Do y'all still do that?
Yes. Go ahead.
Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah, we have a continuum. So what we do is all of our programming is not random. We have, the world says cradle to career, we say embryo to success. So no matter what age you are, we try to have something for you to do in the continuum. If you enter as a 1-month-old baby, we have a LENA program. If you enter as a 75-year-old citizen, we have our OGs program, which is for our outstanding generation. And so
Some of the perks you get as a member.
Summer camp.
Summer camp. That's a good one. The gym.
Free events.
Free events.
programming for my kids.
Program for your kids. Yeah, is your kid in programming?
Yes.
I love that. I love that.
Food pantry.
Food pantry. Yes. Okay. So those are some really great ones. Another one is you get exclusive access to the merch. Okay. We are very much known for our hoodies. Okay. In a minute, I'm gonna send somebody downstairs because I just had an idea. I want to show you guys an exclusive. Nobody has seen our new hoodie drop.
I need that Carter one.
I mean too. So we're
New
doing
hoodies.
some new hoodies this season. I'm not gonna take the colors. I'm gonna show you. I just had the idea just now. I feel like I want to bring a member of exclusivity, right? So I'll show you guys the hoodies so you can like see what you want before it hits the streets. Okay.
All right.
You also get a discount when renting our facility for events. Your first event rental, we just saw this as well. Your first event rental, only the one, is discounted, right? So whether that's a family reunion, professional development for your school, a book signing, an entrepreneurship boot camp, or whatever you want to do, discount for that as well, right? And on top of that, of course, we mentioned free program for your kids. We always get invited to like the Mavericks game, the hockey game, the soccer game, all these things. SMU just did a basketball camp last Saturday. We want to tell our members first before we put it on Instagram, before we put it on Facebook, right? So I just want to again bring all of us together, mix, mingle. I'm gonna turn the music back up. Feel free to drink. There's when people come, don't drink us out of house and home, okay? But drink, be merry, feel at home, okay? And again, my name is Sydney. If you have any questions, I walk around, sit in my own hotel, but I'm sitting over here, okay? Y'all good?
We good.
Answer any questions before I have a seat. No?
I just want to comment.
Yes.
Great leadership here.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Family oriented. I love that. We do treat everybody like family. I like to think so. Anybody else want to say something nice? Yeah, sure.
Since members get all those perks,
Uh-huh.
what do we have to do in return? Like, what else?
The crazy thing is nothing. But for me, what I like to ask people to do is volunteer.
Volunteer.
Yep, spend time, spread the word. One of the big initiatives that we're starting is our Go to School campaign. I don't know, have y'all heard of chronic absenteeism?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So chronic absenteeism means our students are not in school. And that's as early as elementary school and middle school. So it's not like you in the 4th grade, you skipping class. No, your parents aren't bringing you. Or you go to a doctor's appointment and they say, well, it's 2 o'clock, you're not to go back. Right? That type of thing. So at Frederick Douglass Todd Middle School, used to be Gilmore, okay? And at Albert C. Black, which used to be Elisha and Peace, right? Those schools, 37% of the students are missing almost 18 days of school.
Sad.
Okay? And how the state of Texas operates, the students that are not in school, that's lost dollars for their school to get resources, right?
Correct.
So if for the 40% of students who are not in school, this super block is missing out on $5 million. And then goes to paying for counselors, libraries, right? After school programs, tutoring, mental health resources, all that type of funding we're missing. So when students are in school, the school can make money. If you're out of school, you're broke. This is really that simple. Okay? And so today, our Director of Education is going to stop here and explain it better to you guys. Because again, I'm not in education, but I know the facts. But yeah, so we'll go over some things like that. But other than that, I want you guys to chill out and get to know each other. Cool?
Cool.
Awesome.